Should you work out every day to gain muscle? If you are putting forth effort and trying to get yourself into better shape, then I'm sure you've wondered this very question. If that's you, then you are in the right place because I'm here to answer that question in today's video, so let's get started. Hi, I'm Dr. Kelly Shockley, Doctor of Cause Chiropractic, board certified in sports medicine and specialized in clinical nutrition. In this video, we're going to be going over the number one biggest myth when it comes to building muscle. It's one we've all heard and no longer have to believe. Then we'll cover the secret weapon to building muscle. This is a key detail to get the best bang for your buck. And finally, I'll be sharing with you the most important detail many fitness enthusiasts skip out on. Don't let this one be you. Let's get started. All right, what is the number one biggest myth when it comes to building muscle? It's that thought process that you do have to go to the gym every single day and spend hours at the gym every single day to not only build muscle, but then keep the muscle and try to keep yourself in that physique that you're so after. You see, what we've realized, contrary to how we were raised, is that you don't have to go to the gym every single day. And in fact, I put this to the test. Now, no, I'm not a bodybuilder, but I've ran ultra marathons. I've trained for a 100-mile marathon that I didn't completely finish, but at the same point, I was in the best shape of my life. I had finished a few 50-mile races. I've done several 30-mile, training runs, you name it, and best shape ever. And to be a good runner, you need muscle. It is not just about running, okay? So when I was growing up, it was very much you had to go to the gym every single day. You had to do 6 to 8 exercises per body part. And so you really only wanted to work out 2 body parts maybe in the same day. And then that would give them a couple of days for rest. And you'd work the next couple of body parts, but still 6 to 8 exercises every single body part or every single muscle group to really effectively be able to build muscle. And what we've learned over the decades is that that actually is not necessary whatsoever. In fact, you don't even have to go to the gym if you actually want to build muscle. Though being able to push weight is an effective strategy. It does work really well. What we're realizing now is that really to build muscle, you only need to do strength training maybe 2 to 3 times a week for 20 to about 30 minutes per time you do this. And this is what I put to the challenge when I was really working on getting into ultra marathon running shape. I was doing all kinds of different workouts while running before I decided I was actually going to start doing ultra marathons. And then I went and met with an exercise physiologist who had all the latest, and we created a plan for me where I did strength training it was 3 days a week. In my longest day, it took me 30 minutes to get through that training program. And I was doing all kinds of fun stuff with sandbags and actual, weights and different aspects that were more geared towards running itself. But I also was keeping my metrics at that point in time too, looking at what my body fat percentages was, what compared to my lean muscle mass percentage, and what my overall weight was and what my inches were. And I kid you not, I was building muscle every single week. I was dropping body fat every single week and dropping inches like no tomorrow. Every week I was making improvements in all categories just from doing 3 days of strength training. And I was strong and I was climbing mountains. I had amazing endurance capacity and power and stamina, you name it. I know that you do not have to work out every single day. I work with patients who are athletes all of the time. I've worked with bodybuilders. They don't even work out every single day of the week. Okay? So you do not have to. And in the realms of being able to gain muscle, starting with body weight exercise is at least a good place. And you can go build muscle just by doing work around the house. However, if we're wanting to build more muscle than that and get more defined and toned and lean, a lot of it not only is about what are you doing exercise-wise, but what are you putting in your mouth? Okay, we've got to eat right, we've got to sleep, we've got to do the recovery thing, in addition to doing some workouts. So no, you do not need to work out every single day in order to gain muscle. In fact, I have seen people make bigger gains when they're only working out 2 to 3 days per week, all focused on strength training. Starting with body weight if they're not used to doing strength training, and then adding in weights accordingly. I prefer dumbbells over barbells because barbells allow you to push more weight than what you'd be able to if you split it in half with your dumbbells. So that actually is a good self-check. If you're wanting to use barbell, fine. but can you split that weight in half and lift that in dumbbells? And if you can't, then all the extra weight that you're being able to put on a barbell is going directly to your joint, and that will cause breakdown and injury, like set yourself up for injury. Okay, so 2 to 3 days a week, 20 to 30 minutes is all you need in order to gain muscle. As we get older, strength training becomes more and more important, because by the time you turn 30, your body starts actively breaking down this lean muscle mass. So strength training is the best way to actively encourage generation of lean muscle mass and to keep the lean muscle mass that you already have. Now, I'm curious, did you really believe that in order to gain muscle or get the gains you're after, that you needed to work out every day of the week? Let me know down in the comments below. I'm super curious. Or had you heard that 2 to 3 days might be enough? I also am interested in if you knew that information. Awesome. What is the secret weapon to being able to build muscle effectively? It all comes down to how much protein are you supposed to be consuming. I get asked this question all of the time. There really is an effective method to the madness to figure this out. There's a calculation. So I wanted to share that with you because it is different for each person. It depends on your build. It depends on your size, your height, your weight, your age. All those factors can play into this. So how much protein do you need to be consuming? In general, you need 1.2 to 2.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. So you're going to have to go do the conversions for that, okay? That's kind of your range. Now, why is this important and what kind of proteins do you need to be consuming? It's important because that's the building block of the muscle. If you're not getting enough protein in, you don't have the building blocks to actually build and gain, muscle girth, but then also the strength that's associated with muscle. So, can you do this on a purely plant-based diet? Yeah, you can. You have to be really good at making sure you are getting enough variety in so that you're accomplishing and getting all of the essential amino acids, which are the building blocks of proteins, out of your diet. I've worked with several vegans, and I will tell you, it is a significant challenge. Now, there's nothing wrong with fueling with plants, okay? I'm not super pumped about all these things that they're conjuring up in labs now. We're carnivores. There's nothing wrong with animal proteins, okay? They don't cause health problems if we eat them the way that God intended them to be raised. What we've done to livestock and animals here in America is what causes the health problems. The animal itself, naturally occurring, no issues. Animal meat proteins are the easiest way to get in enough protein and make sure you're getting all of your essential amino acids, which means these are things your body cannot create with the nutrients you are giving it. It is something you actually have to get from your diet. Now, if you are somebody who's trying to build muscle and is very insistent on at least being vegetarian, but would prefer to be vegan, I always ask for compromise. If there's only one animal source food that you would eat that would make a huge difference for you, would be eating eggs. Whether it's from duck or turkey or chicken, doesn't matter to me, eggs. Eggs have every single essential amino acid in them, plus a whole lot of other nutrients that are needed just for overall health and well-being. So making sure you're getting enough protein in is key to building muscle. One thing, if you're going to go towards that 2.2 grams per kilogram body weight of protein each day, when we get into higher levels of protein, you want to make sure you're drinking enough water, which is half your body weight in ounces per day, up to 3 quarts, which means if you weigh 200 pounds, you're still only going to drink 3 quarts because there's this, what is it? I forget the name of the challenge, where people are drinking gallons of water every day. It's too much. You're diluting out your electrolytes. You're going to cause other problems. You can go beyond 3 quarts if you're adding electrolytes back in. But if you're not, and you want a minimum of here's what you need to get every single day, it's half your body weight in ounces per day, up to 3 quarts. 3 quarts is what? 96 ounces. Don't go beyond that unless you're going to add electrolytes in. That's key. Your kidneys need help when you're consuming more protein to process that out. That's why water is important. Okay? So you've got to make sure you're getting enough protein in if you want to build muscle. Otherwise, you're not going to build muscle. You don't have the building blocks. Now, before I get into the most important variable that a lot of fitness enthusiasts skimp out on, I just want to take a moment to remind you to click that subscribe button down below, turn the notifications on. While you're down there, give me a like if you're enjoying the video. I am producing videos for you on a regular basis that help you be able to take back control of your health, reach the health goals that you're after, and achieve what I like to call total body mastery. So again, just make sure you click the subscribe button, turn the notifications on, and give me a like while you're down there too. I appreciate it. Now, what is the most important variable that a lot of health enthusiasts will skip out on? It is recovery. Now, there's great debate around recovery and how much is needed and is it necessarily needed. I will tell you that it's really easy to overtrain. And what that looks like for one person can be completely different for another person, okay? There should be at least one day of what I'd consider more active rest. Doesn't mean that you don't do anything, but if you're actively training for an ultra, or you are like a mountain climbing enthusiast, or you do track, it doesn't matter what your sport or your activity is. You do CrossFit, you still need an active recovery day. That means you go do something that does not look anything like what you're training for or how you're working out. So it could just be a brisk walk, on some nature trail that there's not a lot of elevation gain. Still be active, but you need to give the muscles a break so that they can actually repair. You can get into overtraining. Overtraining looks like, very slow to heal. You now all of a sudden are more prone to injury. You have soreness that isn't going away the way that it used to. It's lasting more than a couple of days post-workout. You might find that you're having irregularities in your mood balance, maybe not being able to sleep the way that you should be. Something that works very counterproductive to trying to gain muscle is in overtraining, because you get into creating too much inflammation in the body, you can actually find you're getting weight gain, but it's not muscle, it's inflammation. Or your body will actually start holding on to fat as a protective mechanism for what you're doing to it. So you need to make sure you have an active rest day each week. Again, doesn't mean you have to just be lazy, though there's nothing wrong with having that once a week if you're working out intensely 6 days a week. But be active in a way that doesn't resemble anything that you're doing at the gym. Okay? Give your muscles a chance to repair and recover, and you will notice, here's the other thing with not recovering. If you're not making gains the way that you used to with pushing more weight or having more power output or however you're gauging your gains, it could be because you're overtraining. And I know this seems mentally counterintuitive, but if you give the body a little bit more rest, you'll find you can make gains more quickly again. Now, if you're still sitting here going I'm not entirely sure how to really reach those goals, or I just want to be the best version of myself and I'm not entirely sure what that looks like, then I just have a special little something for you down in the description below. So below this video, in the description, click on that. It will expand out. And in there, you'll see a link for an ebook called From Sluggish to Unstoppable. Who doesn't want to be unstoppable in life, right? In this ebook, very simple, very short read, I explain the whole framework that I use with my patients to help them reach their fitness goals, reach the fitness competition, the amount of strength gain that they're after, whatever the health goal may be. This is the exact formula for making that happen without hesitancy, delay, running into obstacles. This is the way. So just make sure you go down in the description, click on that link for From Sluggish to Unstoppable, and you will be well on your way. I appreciate you being here. Thanks so much. And I can't wait to see you on a future episode. God bless.